exactly
We
what.
discussed this though. No?
What's that?
Well, with respect to that motion.
Or with respect to development agreement, yeah.
Yeah,
So we'd like to,
because otherwise, at least
I
the
think
whole
the-
thing.
is the spirit, you don't like that word. The wants and wishes of council, I think, have been expressed pretty,
I don't know if they,
Not clear enough.
on that.
yeah.
No, if I were in the shoes of the developer, I'd want to know exactly, would they accept 60? Would they, what exactly are they looking for in the exterior differences? I think it's only fair.
No, okay, yeah, absolutely. Councilor Sparkman,
That was my
Okay.
my comment.
are we prepared to do that, to have that discussion now? Great, okay. Any thoughts or ideas at this stage? Councilor Donovan.
Three things I would like to see. I would like to see the, I believe the year is 1992 is the latest downtown
Architectural guidelines.
architectural guidelines for downtown. I think it's a good document. I've read it. It stands up. I think the acoustics report also was reasonably good, and I would like to see on the facade, and I am only talking about the front and maybe the back, but not the air conditioners and not the balconies and not the internal, but I would like to see a facade design that is consistent with what's outlined in the architectural agreements. That's one thing I would like to see. I would like to see the developer come back with, I will feel more comfortable when the number gets down closer to 50 and within the same mass that he currently has, show us how he can structure that so that we truly have a mix of people able to live there. That would be two things I would like to see. And I really would, I'm feeling much more comfortable about the egress access, but to whatever ability he has to kind of firm that up a bit, I would like to see that. Those are three things. Once I was happy with that, I would be very happy with this development.
And I would add a fourth, and that being the notion of the percentage in terms of short stay rentals. And like I said, I would prefer to be between 15 and 20.
I think we're already at 20. It's been amended from 33 to 20.
I think what we heard is that he would be willing to consider that, but that hasn't been written in yet. And I don't know if other people around the table want to go further.
Okay. Noted. Anybody else? Any other thoughts? Councilor Simpson?
20 doesn't bother me, the 20% figure. I thought that he's come down substantially to a position. As far as the number of units, I think we have to be careful there. I think there are some of us who would like to see a development in this spot. So there has to be some kind of a figure from 50 to 71 in that range, not necessarily just saying 50. That's what I've heard from Councillor Donovan. I think, knowing construction the way I know it, it could be 58. And if it is that, then that's what works to make it. We talked about the diversity of people that would live there in different size units for seniors and other professionals and so on, students as well. That doesn't bother me to say that if it fits and it shrinks it, then, and it makes sense, then I'm willing to consider a number that doesn't necessarily fix itself at just a 50.
Again, I think it behooves us to give a clear direction. And so if we're saying we're willing to accept up to, I think would be, I think it would be better.
Well, as you said earlier, I'd like to hear what that number is from the rest.
Okay, Councillor Sparkman.
Just like to remind everyone that the way the development agreement is written now, it is up to 71. So he has at his discretion the ability to put in less than that, as long as it's not a significant change, whatever that happens to be. And then my second question is, does the town have any other methods or tools for encouraging diversification of the type of people that were living there, other than the size of the buildings? No? Okay.
No, we don't have any.
So we decide how big the space is going to be, and then we hope proper people are going to come in.
Well, that's really up to the developer, I suppose, to decide what he'd like to do eventually. It's not our call, and we can express our concerns and our interests. I will caution, though, sometimes you be careful what you wish for. You know, we had this issue before, many, many years ago, and anyway, that's many, many years ago. Councilor Bryan?
I would like to see a building that is more in keeping with the acoustics report, a little more articulation. Overhangs, I thought so long and hard about being presented this building as having a front part that is in the spirit of a barn. Well, I've never seen a barn yet without a overhang, because just the way rain runs, it needs to run away from a building, not down the face of a building. And that may be an issue with the drawings, but we haven't had anything to say that there won't be articulation there. So I have to assume that it could be just as spare as the way it looks. Which, when I look at it again and again, I keep feeling like it's the look of a federal office building. Not, and every building speaks. And again, that could just be the drawings. We need a little more detail to reassure us that in fact this will look like a charming place to live that we believe Wolfville wants and we believe the developer wants to put in there. As for the number of units, yeah, I'd be of course happier with fewer, but it's, and I think that will happen with the varied units, and that would please me as well. The access and egress, this has been a surprise for me. I really thought we would have to have it nailed down by this point. And I would be much happier to know exactly what we're voting on rather than a variety of options for the way the people are going to enter and exit this property. Thanks.
Councilor Donovan?
This is a little bit off this development, but it's about the access and egress, and I'm real concerned. Those few of us who have, because we live on a one-way street and actually drive one way on that street, we're the only people who do, everyone else goes the wrong way. Just getting out of, you come down Locust Street, most of the time, it's not a big deal and it's not an issue for us, but it takes a long time to turn left if you need to, if you're going into New Minas. So I'm very concerned that this building, there's no thought of it entering on Main Street because we've already got a traffic problem there. If we, I was rereading the transportation study and we talk about bikes and skateboards on the sidewalks, and it's nerve-wracking enough sometimes to get across even with the four-way stop, and to have, we've got a crosswalk just, I think, right there. Kids coming from the skateboard park and all of those things. So whatever we can do to ensure that the access and egress is at the back, I think is good from a safety perspective. I'm also very conscious, and we all should be, that there's potential for the development of the rail lands, and it's not too early to start talking to them to say, how can this all fit in together? Again, that's part of this downtown Main Street East study, but this should be something that's very exciting for us. I think the developer seems to be a very nice person. I think that we can do something really good here, and there are a handful of other opportunities right in those few square blocks that if we all work together, we can be very proud of what we do as this council, and I truly hope that the developer understands our comments in that spirit, and that we want to work with him and his team to make this happen.
Mm-hmm.